Hello everyone, welcome back to another Train Sim World 6 video. Today we are on the Bahnstrecke Leipzig to Dresden route at Dresden Hauptbahnhof. And I haven't made any videos on Leipzig to Dresden yet, but I have had it for a fair bit. The reason for that is I was waiting for that. And what that is the brand new study level expert BR145 by Train Sim Germany. And if you're wondering, why does it look exactly the same as the 146 and 185 that we already had? Well, it's basically like the close predecessor to the Bombardier Trax locomotives, which are the 146 and 185 that we have in game. And yeah, this locomotive is insane, but it does have one particular omission which I would like to address before getting started. This locomotive does not have dynamic suspension, despite that being a feature for the past 2 years or so at this point. And the reason for that is I think Trains in Germany just didn't have the time to refine it to their level of perfection before they were able to release it, but it's coming down the road. So just letting you know that yeah, it's basically, yeah, it just does not have dynamic suspension. Some of the wagons do, but yeah. You'll notice that immediately that it is not in DB red. That is because there is a new licensor, RBH, and the 145 comes with a very nice blue and white RBH livery, as you can see on your screen. Also, new SDGGMRSS 738, I think, wagons, complete with DHL branded trailers and containers, and also, yeah, there's fictional blue ones, but there is a patch on the Train Sim community website to turn them into LKW Walter trailers. Anyway, there's new expert coupling, there's brakes can get stuck, there's fully muddled engine room, but anyway, I'll show you some of these features before we get started, but let's get going. So, setting this locomotive up. First off, reverse forward. Let's change it to English, which is a new feature, of course. Put the contrast on, and let's go over here and turn off faults, because if you're running this train in expert mode enabled, it starts the faults going by default, and I don't like having faults because they just add chaos, and some of them are completely unresolvable unless you reset the train. So yeah, and we also have the usual buttons which we had in 101, but this one, realistic CIFA pedal behavior, is brand new to this train. So if you have a pedal box in real life, you can get it so you can hook that up, and so like basically the safety system works by you release the pedal to reset the system. And that's what they're simulating here instead of just pressing the Q button. Anyway, that's normally a Nebula screen, but due to in-game limitations, like with the 101, it doesn't display anything. Let's get the direct brake on, and just hold that just to make sure the train doesn't roll. We don't have a brake key to worry about. Oh, we should also put on the headlights. And while we're here, let's hop outside and have a bit of a look. So, look, you can simulate hitting the wheels with a hammer to knock the ice off. And wheel icing is a thing. I will do it at some point, but yeah, not yet. Don't know what those are. It does say in the manual. The manual is 130 pages, so I would highly recommend checking it out before diving into this product. And now, let's check out the expert coupling, which is also new. So, if we walk over here, I want to... Alright, disconnect the brake pipe, relax the coupler screw, chugga, like, just like that. All the way, and then we click that, and that's the new expert coupling system. There's, aside from these new SDGG-MRSS wagons, the bog standard SGG the older Sigmar's wagons are also equipped with it, along with the Habins wagons and Zakens tanker wagons as well. Let's go and connect you, and open, and open. There we go. That's the new expert coupling system for you. Very neat system indeed. I'm surprised it hasn't been around in more stuff before, but it is what it is. Oh, I need to show you the machine room next, before I forget. Machine room. All circuit breakers fully functional. Of course, all of these levers over here are fully functional as well. I'm not going to go into any detail because it's frankly quite a bit... It's quite frankly how terrifying how much stuff is simulated. So I'd highly advise that you look at the manual to prevent... to make sure... Yeah. To make sure you actually know what the heck you're doing. Anyway, so we've translated it to English. To put into train information, we go 4, 1, and then we go for this one on the side, we go 4 for freight trains, 9 for passenger trains or freight trains, so we put in 4. Then we go to this brand new break sheet on the dash, and this 145 substitutes everywhere. Basically everywhere that you can. So, like, think of how the Vectron substitutes everywhere. That's basically what this does. So it not only substitutes on Leipzig, Dresden, it substitutes on a ton of other routes. Which is why it's quite a bit more useful than the old 101, than the Expert 101. So for the BRH, we want number 5 on this list, current braked weight percentage, which is 81. So we go 0.8. Then for ZL, that's length. Length 514, so we round up 520 meters, and then our Vmax today is a paltry 100 kilometers an hour, but our top speed is 140, and let's program the radio. Set the train company to Sonstige or miscellaneous, because we're running as RBH and it doesn't have it in the system, so we set it as that. Train number is 42314. And set that in the system. And fire that off. And let's go back to the main menu here. And we should be all ready to go. We don't have to activate the... What is this? The electric train supply because it's already on. Oh, and I should... Windshield heating to auto, so it'll kick on if it gets too cold, which it probably shouldn't. Let's go up to 60. Yeah, so these new, I love these new container wagons. Love the new DHL and RBH branding. Oh, and I should get the direct brake off. Let's go 80%. Let's listen to these brand new, recorded off the real thing sounds. Oh yeah. Listen to this go. You'll also notice that, oh, it's gone now, but there was a intercity Sturwagen cab car over there. This new expert timetable for Leipzig Dresden finally has a layer for the expert BR101. Anyway, let's put it up to full. We're not in wheel slip conditions, and this thing doesn't generate that much traction force. It only goes up to 80 kilonewtons of acceleration. When you think about it, the Vectron, which we have in Railpool, Flixtrain, and DB liveries, that can go up to 300 kilonewtons of tractive force. So, yeah, this thing is not that powerful. And I actually tried getting this thing up the Rhine-Ruhr-Osten, so on the absurd, like, 2.5% gradient up from Hagen to on the bypass line to avoid Wuppertal, and it legitimately couldn't do it, and I stalled out on the hill. It's just... There we go. So yeah, the Leipzig to Dresden, in comparison to its predecessor Nahverker Dresden, you can go beyond Riesa to Leipzig, of course, but it also has this little Kosvig branch, Dresden Friedrichstadt to Kosvig branch, which is also quite nice as well. Yeah. that cab car in front of us is heading off to Cologne, so it will be in front of us for a bit, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's just nice. A lot of people don't like the Leipzig Dresden, and I initially wasn't a fan of this route either, because it's just Nafvega Dresden with 2 extra bits of route substituted on, and no new rolling stock apart from the BR294. And having tried it for myself, I must say, I like it. It's a good... It's a decent route. I like the scenery's decent, especially on the new bits of track, and having the full Dresden to Leipzig track to play around with is very, very nice indeed. Yeah. So yeah. Look at those new wagons. I love the new SDGG, MRSS, whatever they are, wagons. I've been waiting for the 145 for a good bit, and I must say, despite the ostensible lack of dynamic suspension, I must say it's quite a decent piece of machinery. Oh, there's another. Yeah. Oh, hello. I think I gotta slow down. Yeah, I think I want to slow down to below 40 because we do have that red signal in front of us. I think it's because the Dresden to Cologne service in front of us is making a stop at Dresden Neustadt. And I have been trying to refine my German pronunciations since we last saw each other. Oh, come on. We can do 140 Newton meters of tractive, kilonewtons of tractive force. 140 Newton meters wouldn't even make a dent on this thing's speed, lol. Yeah. Don't know if the sounds on the SDGG wagons are new, but they seem decent. Alright, come on. Give me power. Yeah. So, obviously, of course, this thing has LZB capability since it was built in the late 90s and early 2000s. And, of course, it has PISA B with all the normal modes that you would expect, and it has CIFA. So, yeah, it's basically a modern German freight locomotive. If you know how to drive the Expert BR101, this will be a walk in the park, really. Acknowledge, please. 70. Let's go to 65. Coming up on Dresden Neustadt here, and with the Expert timetable, there's actually some services with the 145 that go via this little branch line here, which I don't think were there in the original timetable, but yeah. I haven't made any Leipzig-Dresden services yet because I was waiting for this to come out. Because I was waiting for this to come out. And I must say, this has improved the Leipzig-Dresden experience massively. Since this is a great locomotive. I was sort of hoping that they would do the BR120 as the next expert level locomotive, since it was like the predecessor to the 101 and is quite iconic. But yeah, I think since they're doing what is it? The Neckartalbahn with the Deutsche Bundesbahn BR23 steam locomotive, I think they're wanting to focus. I don't think they were wanting to focus on the retro stuff for the next expert level locomotive. Plus, I don't know how they would do a run with the BR120, since I don't know if there are any still in heritage service. Anyway, oh yeah, let's open the window for some extra juicy sounds, why don't we? Yeah, let's actually put the window up and lock the window. I actually want to do a quick manual check because, yeah, I want to find out what the stuff what some of the notable stuff is. So yeah, Ooh. No! Just locked my phone by accident. The 103 BR-145s were built between 1997 and 2000 by AEG, I think. Yeah. This locomotive is also not compatible with the reset simulation features. I think that's what it is. So yeah, this button, the reset simulation physics button, is not compatible with this unit. So if you use it, apparently unpredictable things will happen. So there's 3 variants of the 145 included: bog standard DB cargo traffic red livery, DB with Nahverkehrspakett traffic red livery with an FT95 passenger information screen display, and the RBH livery, which is the one that we are currently hurtling toward Leipzig in. 4 expert freight wagons, the SDGG MRSS 738.0, which are capable of carrying both truck trailers and containers. The SGG MRSS 576.0 intermodal wagon has been updated with expert features. The ZACNS tanker wagon has been updated with expert features, and the Habins 344 has also been upgraded with expert features. The expert features are realistic physics and sounds, and manual coupling, including screw couplers to manually set and tighten, brake hoses, and angle cocks, and the locomotive has full safety system simulation with tests and train data input. Freight train preparation features include kicking brake shoes, using a hammer on the wheels to test their sounds, which we did. Wagon leads to brake sheet in the cab, which is the one just below the dials. There's a 143. Simulation manager, which is the one in the Abula screen. 110 plus random faults, including 98 faults on the standard version and 100 with the Nahverkehrspakett version. 2 battery fuses on the outside of the locomotive, external events such as ice buildup in cold weather and hot brakes. 5 training modules in the training center. 4 modules for Dresden Leipzig, expert simply delivered, Nachwerker auf Abwägen, and Faulty Friday. With Faulty Friday being a full 5 out of 5 difficulty. 277 services on Dresden to Leipzig expert timetable, 128 are freight-related services, with 6 being locomotive startups, 18 locomotive changes, 4 are locomotive stablings, and 29 services, including this one, split into more than one part. 149 services are passenger services with the Nahverkehrspakett version, 64 S1 and 43 S2 services, including empty stock moves, 9 RE15, 8 RE18, 17 RB31, and 8 RE50 services, including empty stock moves. The timetable also includes 15 services for the BR101 Expert and 17 for the Expert cab car. The BR-145 can substitute onto freight services on these routes, and this is a big list. Nahverker Dresden, so the predecessor to this route, Pfälzische Ludwigsbahn, Mannheim to Kaiserslautern, Toronto Ramp, Dresden to Chemnitz, Schnellfahrstrecke, Kassel to Würzburg, both the expert and non-expert timetables, because there is an add-on expert timetable for that route, Kinzigtalbahn, Frankfurt to Fulda, Bahnstrecke Bremen to Oldenburg, Schnellfahrstrecke Köln to Aachen, and all timetables on that one, I think. Bahnstrecke Salzburg to Rosenheim, Frankfurt S-Bahn, Hauptstrecke Hamburg to Lübeck, Hauptstrecke München to Augsburg, Hauptstrecke Rhein-Ruhr, Duisburg to Bochum, Mainz-Besser-Bahn Aschaffenburg to Gemünden, Rhein-Ruhr-Osten, which is Wuppertal to Hagen, and Ruhr-Sieg-Nord Hagen to Finnentrop. So that's quite a list of routes. Quite a lot of stuff you can do. Oh yeah. This is actually my I'm going to let you in on a little secret, viewers. This is actually my second attempt at recording this video, because I was doing an experiment yesterday and left the game in DX12 rendering by accident. So, oh hello, 146 appears out of thin air. presumably because it hadn't loaded earlier. So yeah, this is our top speed for the day. Yeah, somewhat concerning. So, we've got 60 kilometers to go until Dornreichenbach, and then part 2 will take us on to Leipzig and Engelsdorf here. There is one layer that I don't have. You won't see any Leipzig S-Bahn services because I don't have the ancient rapid transit route, which comes with Leipzig S-Bahn BR1442 Talent 2 electric multiple units, which, yeah, I'm just not interested in getting that route unless it gets a remaster, because it is the oldest German route in the game, and it is absolutely ancient. Not even for layering. It's not even worth it for layering. Yeah. Wonder if we'll see any 145s today. So yeah. So if you want to run this thing in full expert mode, I do want to point this out. If you go into accessibility, player assist, you have to enable expert mode in here. And expert mode does it. PZB, LZB, and CIFA are enabled by default. Trade data must be entered manually to set PZB to the appropriate mode, which we already did, and faults will be activated by default, which I've already done. It's like as though we're getting we're getting shunted over, I think. Anyway, enabling or disabling expert mode during a service is not guaranteed to work. Please restart. So yeah, are we? Oh, we're actually heading on the slow line via Kostvig. That's cool. Not many freight services go via that line. Most of them go up there via the bypass line along with the express stuff. So yeah, we're currently chugging along. I think my main concern with Leipzig Dresden is the performance. It's not exactly a decently performing route. Anyway, I should probably turn the instrument brightness up so you can see stuff. And let's also turn the indicator brightness up so it's quite a bright day. That is a yellow signal. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to... Come on, slow down. Let's get the throttle off. Let's add some brakes. Oh no. Not a... Okay, we did it. That was quite close, but we did it. Recharge the brake pipe, please. Oh, that's back sheet. I love the sound the throttle handle makes. Oh, there's some ZACNS tanker wagons and some habits. Those are the expert versions, of course. Why did the brakes just come on? Okay, that's interesting. The brakes just suddenly cut in with a vengeance. Let's leave it in quick release for a minute. There we go, and acknowledge CIFA. Come on, thank you. Throttle, please. Yeah, we have to do 60 kilometers an hour through Kostvig, so yeah, I was currently having to juggle stuff. Once you get used to it, like all the different stuff with like the expert things. Ooh, there's a 363. Very nice. So yeah, that also has a chance to show up the BR294, which is like the add-on for this, the deluxe edition add-on for this line. Right, through Kostvig. A bit slower than I was hoping, but we're good. Right, come on, speed and power. Just going to acknowledge every signal with a yellow, even if I don't have to. Still under the influence of a 1000 hertz magnet, so we do have to be careful. So yeah, the train still sways side to side, but there's no like dynamic suspension up and down, which you would expect from dynamic suspension, so yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately. Can't do anything about it. Safe to release. And what's interesting about the PZB acknowledge is it makes like the noise of the switch going, but it doesn't do the doesn't make noise like the 101 does, so that caught me a bit off guard. Rare slow line service here. Is that that's a freight train? Let's see. Is it a 145? Yes, it is. There's the DB red version. Wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Eh? This is the Nahverkehrspakett. Oh. It rendered in with the Nahverkehrspakett passenger information screen, and yet when I get close to it, it just vanishes. Okay. Very odd. Very odd indeed. Let's see if I can get, like, that in decent frame. Oh, yeah. I do want to get the new wagons in frame, though. Yeah, that looks decent. Let's do a bit of depth of field adjustments just to blur the background a bit. But, yeah. Yeah, that looks decent. Oh, yeah, that's decent. 145077, and we've got 14505. Game's frozen. Game is frozen. What in the world? Can't get up? Camera's not... What in the world? Hello? Hello? Game? Oh. Okay. Never had that before. The game was just like, okay, I'm not gonna render anything for you. That was very odd indeed. What the world? It was like the whole game just went, right, I'm not gonna let any of the trains move at all. That's so odd. That is so odd. Okay, that just gave me a slight fright, but I should actually check. Am I still recording? Yes, I am. Okay, that was somewhat terrifying. Let's just make sure that's working properly. I've never had that issue before with Trains of World. Hopefully that doesn't occur again. We'll see. Is that the Meissen-Triebischtal branch? It is. So yeah, there's no freight that goes up that branch, just the S1 at the Dresden S-Bahn that goes up there. Let's get back up to speed before the game tries to pull any more shenanigans on us, because yeah, that was somewhat terrifying. Yeah, this train also has the virtual conductor. As you can see, that is a feature that's in beta, and it only works in the Nahverkehrspakett version with the passenger information, with the passenger version, of course. Right, come on, speed. So yeah, now all we gotta do is let the kilometers pass on by. How's performance? 47 frames? Okay, that's decent for Leipzig Dresden. This route, I'm going to be brutally honest, my main concern with this route is it's pretty unoptimized. It stutters quite a bit more than the other two core routes, and it definitely could be better. What are you? You're 143, so you're not interesting at all. The 143 with a pair of Dostos. Yeah, that's annoying about the inclusion of the Dostos on this line. They don't include the version of the Dosto coaches with the doors over the bogies. They just straight up recycled the version of the Dostos with what is it? With the doors not on top of the bogies. Which have been in the game since what, like Rursig Nord, like 2017. Yeah, I think the main appeal for me is that the Expert 145 can do far more services than the 101, and it substitutes in on far more routes than the 101 does. Like, yeah, it just substitutes so many different places and so many different services that I think that's the main appeal for me, is it just layers in everywhere. Yeah, but yeah, it definitely won't come cheap. The 145 costs the same as a normal route add-on, which puts a lot of people off, and also put a lot of people off with the expert 101. I can't say original 101 because then that's the dovetail one from Hauptstrecke Rhein-Ruhr that doesn't have any systems depth whatsoever. Yeah. Come on. We're losing speed at maximum tractive effort. Are you kidding me? Yep, that's a bit ridiculous. Okay, 50 frames. Okay, decent. And also, in cold weather, the window can fog up as well, but I think I'll actually turn that off, because, yeah. It's a summer day, it's not as if we're likely to get cold conditions all of a sudden. Also, having an AFB is so nice. It's very... You don't have to work. You can just set the throttle to full and not worry about having the train go at full throttle. And not worry about, you know, having the train just doing overspeeds. I wonder if are there any more trains up ahead? This line is, yeah, it is surprisingly quiet, the Leipzig to Dresden. There aren't too many services knocking about, and it's peak times as well. Don't know if that's realistic or not, but maybe. I don't know. Come on, stop losing speed. This thing is very underpowered. The 145 is distinctly underpowered compared to its more modern counterparts like the Vectron. Or even older ones like the BR-103 from Link Rheinstrecke. That thing can output a considerable more amount of power than this can. Having everything enabled is so, having everything working is so cool. It's a pity that we can't have a working Ebola screen, but I'm not too surprised about that because it'd be quite difficult to engineer, but yeah. I believe someone is working, the modder Spacey Cat is working on an Amtrak P42 DC diesel electric locomotive as a mod, and has been doing so for a while now. And there's something in American trade which is very similar to Ebola, and somehow Spacey Cat has managed to get it working in a mod, which is pretty impressive that Dovetail never managed to do that. So we'll see how that turns out when the mod is released. But for all I know, it could have been taken up as an official payware DLC because we haven't heard anything about it in a while. I would love to see that be a payware DLC, since, yeah, it looks like a great mod. And then there's also, I would love to see, like, they have the official support of Dovetail Games being thrown behind it, but can't have everything, I suppose. And there's another notable mod, a Class 360 being made as a mod for Great Western Express to replace the somewhat unrealistic Class 350 that's currently laid on there for the Heathrow Connect stuff. But yeah, of course, no release date for that one either, and I can't even remember who's making it. Yeah. It's very hard to bring a mod to fruition that's actual rolling stock. Like, there's a number of passenger coaches that are adapted from models already in the game, and there's some passenger coaches which also... What the...
Zug 5, 4, 3, 1, 2.
How do I pick you up?
Achsen 5 bis 7 heiß sowie
Let me
Achsen
pick
0, 0 bis 03 heiß sowie Achse 06 heiß.
Okay.
Ich wiederhole.
This
Zug
wasn't talked about in the
5,
manual.
4, 3, 1,
Does it-
2,
Some Sprechen,
Achsen
Sprechtaste. Hang on,
5
I need to have a look at the
bis
manual.
7 heiß sowie Achsen 00 bis 03 heiß.
Now, I know
sowie
that voice. That's
Achse
Lucas Klipsik,
06
who's
heiß.
part of Dovetail Games' team and also works on Trains of Germany stuff. Is that a locomotive? Is that a train in distress? It was an emergency call, that's for sure. Hang on, I need to have a look at the manual and see if... I didn't know that could happen in timetable, but I thought that was only scenarios. Fair play, developers. Right, okay. Yeah, that startled the heck out of me because I'm not used to getting radio calls in timetable mode because, yeah, timetable mode doesn't really do that. Right, manual. There we go. Right. Yeah, it was definitely an emergency call because it was the same... Quiet. Sorry, I'm struggling to find a manual here. It's that emergency call threw me a bit. Where is it? There it is. Right. At least AFB is keeping the speed nicely and not having to manually control my throttle. That'd be awful. Anyway, GSMR. Managing calls, page 107. Page 107, here we go. Alright, so, emergency call. That was an outbound, that was an inbound, what was that? Wait, what? Allegedly, that was me transmitting that call. What? According to the manual, I hit the emergency button. No, never mind. I take that back. I've just had a look at the manual, and now it's an incoming emergency call. And it's not giving me the information. Is there a look? There has to be like another train in distress somewhere. Oh, please don't tell me it's someone up ahead. That guy's moving. That's an RE50. If we have a look here. Dresden to Cologne, IC 2046. You've got a green signal, so I assume you'll be moving. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. There goes the branch to Grossenhain. Yeah, that's... So yeah, that was definitely an incoming emergency call, and you can't leave those. So, yeah. Yeah, that's really surprised me. But credit to developers, it's hard to make radio calls that activate timetable mode. So yeah, there was no details in the manual about what to do when those calls come in. It was just incoming emergency call and then just left it at that basically. Okay, wow, that Mercedes just did a J-turn at speed. Did you see that? That was hilarious. Yeah, that I was so surprised. Sorry, I was so surprised by that. Yeah. Alright. 44 kilometers to go. Oh my goodness. Yeah. But once we get past Riesa, that's an LZB zone. Train controls its own speed. All I have to do is press C first, so I won't even have to manually do the AFB. It does go down to an 80 limit through Riesa, I think. So, yeah, that Dresden to... Has that Dresden to Cologne service left yet? No. Stop arrived at instruction. What time do you leave? 7:56. Oh, so yeah, he's not leaving for another 2 minutes. He's fine. If there's a train that's stranded on the line ahead, that'd be awful. Oh, there's the fast line coming in from the right-hand side. We couldn't really take advantage of it because our top speed's only 100, but there you go. Alright, back onto the normal line. Oh yeah. I do like the track joint sounds. Oh, that sounds nice. Having the LKW Walter branding patch to get rid of that unrealistic branding that they put on. Well, I know it's for licensing reasons. They don't have an LKW Walter license yet, but yeah, it's definitely annoying. As the RE50 service I was looking at earlier. Pair of Talent 2s. Actually, yeah, I haven't driven the Talent 2 included with this route in a fair while. I did do one drive with the Talent 2 from Aachen that still has the bugged low tone horn that the remaster didn't fix. Alright, we do have a neutral section coming up just before Risa, so I will have to keep an eye out for that. Abandoned station. Here's the start of the branch line heading off to the Nunkritz chemical plant. There's a good bit of shunting that you can do there. Well, oh, actually no. Huh? Yeah, there it goes. It's a little unelectrified line with the BR294 is quite good for shunting on that little line. Wonder if we'll see a 294 today. We've seen a 365. Wonder if we'll see a 294. Sorry, the 294 is a bit complicated, but it's a rewarding little engine to drive, and it's got a top speed of 80, which means it's quite quick. And there's also, and I believe there's also a layer for the Vossloh G6 diesel shunter from Train Sim Germany. That was Train Sim Germany's first product. It'd be so cool to get a juxtaposition between that and this. Man, the G6 is good, but it doesn't have the level of functionality that this thing has. It's nice having another good, excellent, expert level locomotive in this game. And especially one that substitutes in for so many services on so many routes. Because while the Expert 101 is dang good, and it's my second favorite German locomotive in the game, it still has it's still pretty limited as to where you can take it. It can only really substitute in expert timetables or on a few services on Aachen. And yeah, it's just, yeah, those runs can get a bit repetitive, and there are also quite not many of them. Like, for example, the Kinzigtaubahn only has 4 of them. Well, mind you, I don't really like driving on the Kinzigtaubahn because that route is still so unoptimized that it's not funny. Like, yeah, like my computer just doesn't like running on Kinzigtaubahn. And, yeah, I suspect while I don't have it, the Feldsicher Ludwigsbahn is probably a similar story. I refuse to get the Feldsicher Ludwigsbahn due to the lack of a proper version of the ICE 3 that has the French safety systems. They included the ICE 3M from Aachen and gave it a few new features, but they should have put in the ICE 3MF, which is the one with the French safety systems, which is the one that runs on the route in real life, which they didn't. Anyway, enough ranting, let's continue to enjoy this absolutely excellent piece of machinery. Oh, hello, red signal ahead. Oh, is the Dresden code service still there? No, he's left. Oh, he's just coming in. Leipzig to Dresden. There is, I assume that's something. But yeah, there is definitely a red signal ahead. Oh, hello. Shut the power off. That's the neutral section. That's the neutral section.
Störung. Störung. Störung.
Let's wait until we pass this sign here. And close the circuit breaker. There we go. And give it some power again. And the AFB didn't shut off, which was nice. Oh, acknowledge 70. Oh, what? That's a 294 running light in the opposite track. What? I didn't know they could do that. That's cool. Oh, I think it's the 294 that's getting in our way. Right. Brake. Yeah. That's cool that it can run opposite track on the opposite tracks. Right. Yeah, I think it's because that 294 is getting in the way. Come on. That's cool how he's running on the opposite track though. Very cool. Oh, hello, we have to slow down to below 20 now, otherwise, yeah, 500 hertz magnet will get us. Let's actually just stop the train. Full service. Wonderful. Oh, and if I use full service, will we get the heat haze off the brakes? Because that's a new feature, isn't it? Right, put the direct brake on. Come on, please let there be heat haze. Heat haze? Heat haze? No. It would probably only appear after, like, an emergency brake. I don't think a full surface is going to do it, I'm afraid. Which I'm not willing to do. Oh, well. Let's put you in hold. Oh, AFB holds the brakes, I forgot. So I can just release the direct brake. And now we gotta wait. Let's have a look at the map, see what the holdup is. There's nothing in Nodorau. Let's see. Oh, there's a big old... Where did the 294 go? Oh, he got shunted over onto this track. And well, this guy is heading to Lovosice? So yeah, we're having to wait for this chap to... Yeah, he's a light loco move, and unfortunately that means he can only do 80 because... Well, yeah. Let's go down to 20 just to make sure. There's a 185 with some layers car wagons. Right. Gotta pass this signal before the 500 hertz magnet terminates. You gonna go? Hello? Okay. Right.
AFB.
Switch the AFB off, manual power.
AFB.
Could the AFB be manually overriding the power? Like, yes, it was. I could only do 41 kilonewtons before. Okay, there we go. Let's get the sander going since we are going full power. So, okay, that's a good tip. If you're struggling to get going because of a lack of power, turn the AFB off. I just have to remember to stay below 25, because otherwise that would be bad. Oh, yeah, I would just do an emergency brake. Come on. Still learning the vagaries of this train, so probably go release in a minute. You gonna release me? AFB, bang. AFB's not gonna turn on. Okay. Oh, does the AFB not turn on?
AFB.
Okay, now it's turned on.
AFB.
Up to 100. Right, now we... Okay. Bit of finagling later, and now we should be getting the power. So yeah, it seems as though the AFB limits the train's power output for some reason. interesting. We got an air conditioner. I love the clunks the switches make. Very nice. Very... Oh, hello. Intercity Sturwagen cab car. Very nice. With a 101. Love to see the two expert locomotives being juxtaposed. There are rumors floating around, and mind you, these are only rumors, that the next expert locomotive is not going to be German, it's going to be British. It seems, it might, very possibly might, that the, what is it, the Freightliner Class 70 diesel locomotive currently being developed by All Aboard Studios might be an expert level locomotive, but those rumors have not been confirmed, they're just swirling around. If it is, then I'll buy it day one, because finally breaking the Class 66 monopoly on British freight services will be good, but I won't get the Alan Thompson Sim Class 90 because A, that's only for West Coast Mainline South, B, I just think that it's like I have reservations about Alan Thompson Sim and their workplace ethics. I refer you to Maverick Hunter Daniels' video on the Class 745, and I will say no more about Alan Thompson in this entire video. But yeah, All Aboard seem to be a decently reputable organization. Right, come on. 70 kilometers an hour. Finally getting a decent lick of speed going. Right. Oh no. Not another yellow signal. Let's actually get the speed down to 70, since that's the speed which that signal will prompt us to go down to. We are gradually approaching Risa. We still have a while to go, quite frankly. We've only done here to here, and we need to get there. Oof. Is that a warning board? Might as well acknowledge it. Come on. Get the speed down to 70. Stop being a... Okay. Let's put it back up to 70. Actually, no. Yeah. Sorry, I'm dithering a bit. So yeah, this is as far as the route... So basically, just beyond that bridge up there, that's as far as the route used to go into Risa. Yeah, slow down to 70. But yeah, now it goes even further to Leipzig, which is nice. Like, that was one of the things I was advocating for, having an extension to Leipzig. So we could, among other things, that means we could do the full RE50 service. There's the 20 warning board for the diverging track. Come on, just get that dynamic brake going. Here's Risa. There's a 294 parked at the bay platform there. Alright, now we can get the power going. So this, yeah. For me, it feels weird going past Risa because trains would always terminate here or at Risa Yard, but back in the Nahverker Dresden days, but now we get to go further, which is very nice. Alright. Now it's cool to see that BR294 running opposite tracks. Is that Talent 2 coming in? It is. Nice. 3-car Talent 2 coming in off that little track there. Not sure where that goes, actually. Someone will need to let me know in the comments section where that little track goes.
Sifa.
There's a 294. And there's some tanker wagons. So yeah, soon after this, Elsa B will kick in. Yeah, I do like the 294. It's a decent looking unit. And it's got great sounds as well. I really do like it. Like, it's probably the best rolling stock that comes with this route, but it has nothing on this absolute beast of a machine that is the 145. Oh, semaphore signal. Very nice. Alright, we can go up to 120, but I'm expecting LZB to kick in any moment now. So look at we've gotten past the... No. They sound like custom sounds. Nice track joint sounds too. Right, up to 100. And once we go to LZB, I could just set the AFB to maximum and the cab signaling does the rest. I do love how well cab signaling sections are integrated into German railways. It's very nice to have like subset, which is like means you can have like high-speed lines and normal lines blend into each other seamlessly, which of course doesn't happen in Japan because high-speed trains are on standard gauge tracks, while normal trains are on 3-foot 6-inch gauge track, which means there's no interoperability between the bullet train and normal networks at all. And I mean, JR West, I think it was JR West anyway, tested a gauge change train, try saying that 5 times fast, back in the 90s? But ultimately it was unsuccessful, unfortunately. That would have been cool, and I think the Spanish have actually nailed getting gauge change trains working properly on their high-speed network because they have to interoperate between standard and Iberian broad gauge track. But yeah, of course that doesn't work in Japan. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. Let's try and get up toward 100. It's definitely slow on the old acceleration of 145. It's quite sluggish, honestly. Especially on hills. Like, we're having trouble. Yeah, we're not accelerating anymore. Come on. I forgot how far it was from reset to the LZB kicking in. Hopefully it kicks in soon. There's the 200 speed board coming into force pretty soon. So yeah, everything beyond like reset, a bit beyond Risa Yard, this is like new scenery to this route.
Sifa.
Finally, we're above 90 kilometers an hour, getting up to some decent speed. LZB, there we go. Wait a minute. I enabled LZB, right? Yeah, LZB is enabled by default. Oh, I think it's because we're in the wrong PZB mode. I think in PZB mode O it kicks in, but I think, yeah, we're still in manual mode. Since we're in PZB mode... What is it? Hang on. PZB mode B? Yeah, I'm not too sure. Anyway, we should be... If cab signaling had kicked in by now, it would have, but anyway. Let's get some of that exterior noise. Never mind, there goes LZP. It was just... took longer to kick in than I thought. Let's actually get the window open, why not? Unlock the window, bam. Those are good sounds, very well mixed, I must say. Abandoned station, looks like. Very interesting. Let's actually open the window on the... close this window on our side and open the one on the other side. Oh, nope. And then window lock. Yeah, it's not just one click, you have to... it's a whole, like, manual process. Yeah, so now the train's controlling the speed itself, but obviously we're still limited to 100 because that's just the way this train has worked. So if we have a look down here, it always says the top speed that you're allowed to go on this little sheet here on the right hand side at the bottom. So yeah. I wonder if we'll see any other trains passing by. Sign is notably quiet for a main line between two major German cities. Doesn't look as though there'll be any as far as Dorn-Reichenbach. We still have another 20 kilometers to go. Should take 12 minutes at 100, so hopefully we don't lose any speed on tall grades. If we were in an iced tea right now, it'd be a lot, or a 101, we would be doing 200 by now, but unfortunately no, we have to do half that because we're a freight train. How's performance? 46 frames? Okay, that's decent by Leipzig Dresden standards. I did replace the thermal paste on my computer, so it should be doing more decently on the performance than it used to anyway. Yeah, and just don't forget, this is just part 1 of the service, but at least part 1 goes most of the route. After this, we'll have to do Dorn-Reichenbach to Leipzig-Angelsdorf Yard. Wouldn't it be cool if, since they have the DHL license, wouldn't it be cool if they added DHL vans as AI traffic? That would never happen, but I would love to... I wish it would happen. But unfortunately, no. It's nice that we do have DHL as a licensor in this game, finally. It's absolutely awesome. I love the way the bright yellow differentiates itself from the reds, oranges, and blacks, and greys, and whites more commonly found on the network. And the RBH livery on the 145 does look genuinely excellent, and I love it. Whoa, did you hear the track joint sounds with the window down? Ooh, look, narrow gauge railway off on the left. Very cool. Train. Is that another? No, it's just some tanker wagons. Okay. Look at those little narrow gauge coaches. So cool. Anyway. Don't know what railway that is, actually. Do like the horn too. It's well mixed as well. Like, all the sounds on this locomotive are very well done. Up to TSG's usual standards, I would say. Oh man, the track joint sounds when you're going over a set of points like that with the windows down, that is just amazing. Yeah, so we're basically under, I think we're under LZB basically all the way to Leipzig. So the train should bring itself to a stop, hopefully, before the red signal at Dorn-Reichenbach, which is basically guaranteed to be there. which means hopefully, and this, I won't have to put on any of the brakes at all. All I have to do is press the CFA every so often to make sure I'm not falling asleep. That's something, that is something nice. I've been driving quite a bit of the Liberec to Stara Paka route, which is the Czech route that just came out. And I must say, because there's no cab signaling on the route, the LVZ and LS90 safety systems, like, check your vigilance every, like, 10 seconds. It's absurd. But that is realistic. I've heard from actual Czech players that is realistic to the route in real life, so I'm not going to question it. It's just like, why does the Czech network make you press it like that often? It's just absurd. Excuse me. 13 kilometers to go. I wonder if there are any trains stopping by before we get to Dornreichenbach.
Sifa.
Yeah, there we go. That's okay now. Nafika Dresden was one of my favorite German routes in the game, so I am glad to see it get the extension to Leipzig. It's so fully deserved, but just wish it didn't have. Just wish that us Nafika Dresden owners could get a discount. Could have gotten a discount for getting Leipzig Dresden. Mind you, Nafika Dresden is still playable. I've even got it installed, but it's not obtainable anymore unless you buy Leipzig to Dresden, and then Leipzig to Dresden also grants you a copy of Nafika Dresden if you don't already have it. So yeah, Nafika Dresden is the only route in the game besides the ancient New York to Newark Airport route that's unobtainable, technically. 10 kilometers to go. Wonder if we'll get overtaken. That could happen. Oh, hello, what are you? RE50. That's why we're getting pulled over, because at Dornreichenbach is because they're waiting for then we'll have to wait for the RE50 to storm past. Hopefully we won't have to wait too long before Part 2 kicks in. I must admit, doing a service that just goes 100 kilometers an hour is quite tedious, but it's realistic, so I'm not gonna question it. And plus it lets me appreciate the scenery. It's decent scenery. Oh man, the sounds are so good. Excellent track joint sounds. Oh yeah. That's so cool. sounds so good. I love those track joint sounds. That's probably my favorite track joint sounds of any train in this game. I thought the ones on the Class 86 and Mark 2F coaches were good, but nothing compared to that. Train Sim Germany really did their homework. 7 kilometers to go. Let's have a look at the map. So yeah, it's basically just a dead straight section of track apart from one corner all the way to Dornreichenbach. How's performance doing? Still like 42, 43 frames. This long into a TSW run? That is really, really decent for my machine. Just over 5 kilometers to go. Not too far. Oh, that must have been... Oh, that was LZB. I thought it was CIFA. Confused me there for a second. This is quite a good train. But, yeah. If you want to pick this up for yourself, I would advise waiting for a sale, especially due to the lack of dynamic suspension. At the moment, it'll probably get added if Train Sim Germany manage to make good on their promise, which they usually do. I don't think there's any promise they've ever left unfulfilled, but we'll see. Oh, hello. The G indicator has just appeared, which means we LZB should start slowing us down automatically. We are almost within 3 kilometers of Dornreichenbach. There's a train. That's a... Oh, what? Right. AFB off. Dang it! I thought the AFB would bring us in, but no, LZB. I think this yard isn't covered by LZB, which is annoying. Get some brakes going. I have to keep the AFB off until... Oh, that's a 40 warning board? Yeah. What the... Yeah, I think the brakes don't like coming fully off. Come on. Just get the brake. Oh, that's the wrong button. That's the button. There we go. Let's get AF... Oh, I can't put AFB back on yet, can I? Let's get direct brake going. Since we do have to get down to 40. Alright, let's get the AFB on. There we go. Like 50%. Can we get to Dornreichenbach? I would say on time, but we don't have a specific time we need to get in, so... Hopefully I'm not holding up that RE50. Okay, he's just left, wherever that station is, Dahlen. So... let's get down to 40 for entering this yard here. Right, first stop of the day. Door right. And that's my power cut out for some reason. Okay, my power just went off. No, that's the wrong button. There's my circuit breaker. There we go. Oh, my brakes are... Okay. Oh, the train's the train's dynamic brake cut out. Come on, don't stop. Need to get to the destination. Let's cut the... Come on, stop using the brakes. We're still on the main line. Come on, I need you to... Now, power, please. Still getting used to how this train handles, so if I do something stupid, you'll have to yell at me in the comments, but it's not my fault. Oh, I do like the track joint sounds on the... Ooh, the motor sounds sound good on this. We need to stay below 20 if we don't want to get emergency braked by a magnet, by a 500 hertz magnet, I should say. Okay, we've stopped fouling the main line. That's good, which means that RE50 doesn't get stopped anymore. Alright, we'll have to acknowledge this signal, of course. Yep, there goes the 500 hertz, so let's stick it below the speed. Just have to hope at this point and get the stop right, because if I don't get this stop right, it'll set me all the way back to Dresden, and I don't want that to happen. Just turn the throttle off, we can just coast. Get direct brake on, why not? Let the direct brake take some of the strain. Full service, please. Come on. Ah, that's an overshoot. No. Stop. Okay, we did it. That was close, but we did it. Okay, there we go. Platinum medal, no points lost for speeding, and a decent accuracy bonus. But let's continue to free roam. Oh, it's making me wait here for half an hour. Okay, I will go back to the main... I will reset back to the main menu. Oh, there goes the talent 2 that we are holding up. I'll reset back to the main menu, and I will see you for part 2. Welcome back, viewers. As you can see, the registration number of our train has changed because I had to reset back to the main menu, but other than that, we're ready to continue on to Leipzig Engelsdorf. Just make sure all the brakes are released. Yeah, I've tried to set up the train as closely as I could to when I left it, so as to not cause any trouble. So, next stop, Leipzig Engelsdorf, track 5. We can only go up to 40 for now, but we are back in LZB mode once again. Love the motor sounds. That's so nice. And we managed to get going this time without needing to switch off the AFB, which is good. Here we go. 30 kilometers to go. Oh, there's a little yacht up there that I never even knew existed. That must be a 294 doing a shunting, or a 365 doing the shunting up there. Wagons are nearly out. Oh, train. You are a ES64U2 from Hamburg to Lübeck. Ooh. Taurus locomotive. I haven't seen one of those as AI in a good bit. Lucky chance, I suppose. Those are quite rare as AI trains, but they do substitute in quite a few places. Give us speed. Okay, we're getting speed decently, and we're still in LZB mode. So yeah, what part of Leipzig Ungelsdorf are we going in? So we're going in there, and then wow, a long bit of yard, and then there. Okay, just past Leipzig. Oh yeah, there's Leipzig Ungelsdorf. Back up to speed. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention for a bit was that I think the Expert BR145 is compatible with this route's announcement, since it hooks up to the Dostos, well, the Nachtwerkerspaket version anyway. It's a pity the Dostos couldn't get Expert coupling. That would have been cool. Oh well. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully it won't take too long to do the 23 kilometers to Leipzig Ungelsdorf. Still capable of doing 100. I'll need to do one of these, like, long freight services on, like, Kassel, Würzburg. That'd be fun. I won't do it on video because that would just take far too long. Even this video is taking ages, but yeah. bowling along. One thing I am hoping for is, well, it isn't confirmed yet, the sorry, I'm tripping over my own words here. The new route that was just announced by Trains of Germany, the Schnellfahrstrecke Neuenberg to Ingolstadt route, which is going to be like really high speed, 300 kilometers an hour, and it's going to have the ICE 3 with some upgrades. And the original Dovetail 101, so not expert, but with some upgrades to make it a bit more realistic, like new sound. I think it's going to be new sounds, but don't quote me on that. Also, the other thing I'm hoping is that we get that it's confirmed that on that route, it's confirmed that the expert BR101 is already going to be a layer. And it will replace the standard BR101 that comes with the route, with the Expert 101 and cab car. And you'll also be able to play around with the München Neuenberg Express coaches as well, which are also being developed. But one thing that I hope is that there's a dedicated layer for the Expert BR145 on that route. Because if there's a layer for both the 101 and the 145 from day one, I'd pick up that route instantly. And also, I hope that it would get the layers for the SDGG MRSS wagons, the Sigmers, Intermodal, the Habins, the Zakins, all with the Expert coupling. I hope it also gets a layers those wagons in too, because if it does, I'll pick it up like a shot, because, well, why wouldn't I? I'm not too interested in Neckartalbahn since I'm not too much a fan of Steam, but a train to Germany modern route with layers for both the Expert 101 and Expert 145, I'd pick that up. I know Neckartalbahn looks pretty dang good, and Trains in Germany are doing improvements to the steam physics for the BR23 steam locomotive, but it's just not a route that interests me that much. I might pick it up on a sale, but who knows. It's Heidelberg to Neckarels set in 1974, I think. And yeah, it's just not that interesting to me. There is going to be some kind of electric rolling stock that's coming with the route, but we don't know what that is yet. I suspect it's going to be a locomotive that we already have, but backdated, like they did with the 111 on Mittenwaldbahn. But yeah. Honestly, Neuenberg to Ingolstadt, despite its somewhat short length and the fact that it only takes half an hour to complete if you're doing an ultra high speed service, I think that route will come into its own with the 101, Expert 101, and the 145 going. That's yet another talent too. Hello. "16 kilometers to go." Hopefully we'll have a 101 or a cab car blast past us at some point. Let's see if there's any other trains on this line besides that talent 2. No, it doesn't look like it. Let's have a look at Leipzig Hauptbahnhof, which is a dang big station, I must say. You're heading to Dresden Hauptbahnhof at 9:28, and you're in Intercity, so that's a 101. So yeah, oh, is that leaving at 9:24? 9:24, was it? No, 9:28. So that's another 11 minutes, so we might see it? Just as we're pulling into Leipzig-Engelsdorf? We'll see. I think in clear weather, I'll just keep the windows on this thing open because those track joint sounds are amazing. Straight through, stay behind the white line, please. That's one annoying thing about the NPCs in this game. They can be buggy, yes. I've gone over that before, but the fact that they don't stay behind the safety line when a train goes by just irks me to no end. Under 10 kilometers to go to our final destination, after which this service will continue on to Rotterdam-Walhaven. I'm still, speaking of Rotterdam, I still maintain that I would love to see a Amsterdam to Rotterdam route. Because, yeah, it's a bit of a shame that we still only have the, what is it? The Zwolle to Groningen route for Dutch stuff in this game. I'll have to see some of that double-decker rolling stock. But if that route's just a one and done thing, honestly, if that's all we're going to get of Dutch content in this game, I don't honestly mind. Because Zwolle to Groningen is quite a dang good route. Like, I love driving on it. Yes, it's linear and it can be a bit boring at times, but it's still a good route and I really like it, especially the Koploper. That's a great EMU. Like, both the SNG3 and the Koploper on that line are absolutely excellent. The Koploper especially, it's a great unit to drive and I do like it, but for routes that are not, for European routes that aren't German, the Liberec to Starapaka, that is just such a good route. Like, Vector Simulations, that is their first product, and they've already established themselves as a force to be reckoned with. Blowing, I must say, blowing Just Trains in Germany, and All Aboard Studios right out of the water with their quality standards. And trust me, I will be making more Liberec to Starapaka content because why wouldn't I? It's just an excellent route all around. Oh, no, I just pressed the CFA pedal out of habit. That was actually, what is it? That was just the LZB. Six kilometers to go. Is that the S-Bahn line? I don't know, actually. Borsdorf. I don't know where that line comes from, actually. Please do let me know in the comments what line that is, because I don't actually know. Yeah, I can recommend Leipzig Dresden despite its performance issues, especially with the one paired with the 145 in Expert 101. It's a decent route to drive on, and it's decently long. And and if you're running like the RE50 service, that's a complete end-to-end run with all stops. There's a B going off again. It's a nice little road bridge. It's a box. Wonder if that's a remnant of when this area was still in East Germany. Anyway, something to ruminate on. Is that the S-Bahn line? No, it's not. The S-Bahn line only joins here. So yeah, there aren't any S-Bahn services showing up because, well, why would they? I don't have rapid transit installed, and I don't want to get it ever, really. Oh, G indicator has appeared, which means we're about to start slowing down. Hopefully, because we're going into a yard, it doesn't... Oh, as soon as I say that... Right, okay. Let's get the train. Take us down slowly. Going back into manual control. That's such a shame that the tracks have LZB enabled, but the yards don't. Like, why? It's so weird. Should take the throttle off. Forgot. There we go. Let's actually hit the override just so it doesn't kick us. Hit down to 40. Good sounds. I just can't get over how good the track joint sounds are. Seriously. Let's actually open this other window. Wait, does the window squeak? A bit. Oh, I should turn AFB off. Safe to release. Thank you kindly. Let's get some throttle going. There are some shunting services you can do with this thing, which means you get to use this auxiliary traction control thingamajig, which I've never actually used. Anyway, we've got 1.5 kilometers of yard running, and what's annoying about these yards is they're very empty. Look, there are wagons. Everything else is just empty. I think that's something to improve the performance, but it does make these giant yards look somewhat empty. Yeah, like look, in this whole giant yard, there's section of yard, there's just a few tanker wagons, and that's it. But in fact, a yard like this would be absolutely chock-a-block with wagons. But, oh well. It is what it is, unfortunately. Meters to go, so let's actually get down to 20 just to... Oh, there's an iced tea! Hello! Heading on its way to Leipzig Hauptbahnhof. Unfortunately, my main gripe with the iced tea is the poor sounds. It really does have poor sounds, especially the horn. Oh, we do have to cut the throttle. I keep forgetting every time I put the throttle down, it loses. Don't stop, please. Don't stop. Come on. Release the dynamic brake. This thing is so sluggish at releasing power. Come on, just let me engage the high speed. Please, thank you. Right, we didn't stop. We got down to 3.6 kilometers an hour, but we're good. Oh, I've lost power.
Störung.
Hello?
Störung.
Why have I lost power? Failure. Line voltage too low, less than 10 kilovolts. What? That's odd. Wait. Huh? I'm on the right line. That's the reason I don't have any power. No overhead lines. What? Huh?
Störung.
Okay, why did the game route me into a track with no overhead wires? I might as well just lower the pantograph. No reason for it to be up if there's no power. Yeah, I just have to coast and hope that I can get there before I run out of speed. Come on, release.
Störung. Störung.
Come on.
Störung.
Yeah, I'm gobsmacked. How? And this is, if we have a look at the map, this is the correct track. I'm astounded. What the heck? What the heck? I've never had this in TSW before. Why have we been routed onto a track with no overhead lines at all? I'm astounded that it could have gone out in this state. Oh, yeah, I need to stop now. Uh-oh, I can't stop. I don't have dynamic brakes. Emergency. Ah! Oh, that was close. I did it, though. Despite the lack of power, I made it. No way. That's going to have to be filed up in the incident report. Probably send a bug report in. Hopefully that'll be fixed. Anyway, so yeah, that'll be all for this video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully this has informed you on whether to get the Expert 145 or not. And don't forget to subscribe, become a channel member if you can. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.